It's very possible for you to make a lot of money through a business or through a job. I want to tell you a story to drive the point, so do stick until the end of the video so that you can clearly understand what I'm getting at. It's Tepo Mavimbela here, Speak Entrepreneurship and Entrepreneur's Mindset. So this story takes us back to 2008. This is my very early years of high school. I think I was probably 14, 15 in 2008. And my mom and my then stepdad had bought a house the year prior in 2007. So we moved to Cosmo City. It's in the north of Johannesburg. Those who are from Randburg, they will know this place. It's in South Africa, by the way. So we moved to this house, and the story is not about our family then. It's more about our neighbor. Of course, I'll speak about our family then more in other videos, but this is about our neighbor. And to protect his identity and the identity of his family, we're just gonna call him John Doe. Okay, John Doe was a truck driver, and as a truck driver, he had a good salary at that time. He had a really good salary, a good enough salary that it afforded him buying a house in that area at that time, because those houses were not very cheap. So he bought that house and quickly renovated it, built a wall around that house, and he had a wife. Yeah, I think it was a wife. He had a wife, and they had a small child together. And everything was perfect. But there was only one problem. He had an alcohol problem. And here's the thing, this is not a story about alcohol as a problem. It's a story about bad decision making. So he had a problem with alcohol and he drank, you know what I mean? And at that time, he didn't seem like an alcoholic. And even after everything that happens at the end of the story, he didn't seem like an alcoholic either, you know what I mean? But there was just bad decision making. And getting friends, because he could buy a lot of alcohol. This guy was making a lot of money, so he could buy a lot of alcohol, always had visitors, always had friends over, and every single weekend it was loud, it was banging. John Doe was really living the life, what seemed like the perfect life, especially for me at that time. When I looked at him, I was like, man, I think this is the type of life I want to live when I grow up. Fast forward a year into us living in that area, the man decided to quit his job or retire in that company to get another job, because the job market at that time was really good. And from the company that he worked for, he got a good financial package. And that good financial package, I think, delayed him in getting another job, because to him, it seemed as though he's financially sorted for a very long time. And he decided not to look for a job. And it was just a laugh of a party, man. In the beginning, it so seemed that the wife was also enjoying that, you know what I mean? And of course, they both drank, but I wouldn't say that they were alcoholics again. But the money started running out. And that's the thing about money. If there is no way of the money coming in, it starts running out. The money started running out, and it started becoming obvious that the money was starting to run out, because you would hear fights very clearly, very loudly. And as you know, like, many relationships do end because of financial problems. And of course, there are other issues, but financial problems is one of the major problems that ends relationships and marriages, right? You could very clearly hear the fights about, where did you spend the money on? What did you spend the money on? Like, stop buying alcohol. The child needs so and so. We got to pay the house, whatever. You know what I mean? And I remember at some point, I would hear these fights almost every single night. And then all of a sudden, it stopped. It was completely quiet. Now, being a kid at that time, I was not really paying attention to what's going on, because I'm always out, I'm playing, I'm a kid. And about a month later, I was like, man, it's too quiet. Where is the wife? Where is the kid? Actually, where is this guy? And believe it or not, the guy was still there. The guy was still there. But the wife and the child had left. And few months down the line, because obviously they were neighbors, we would go into the house. Few months down the line, when I would go into the house again, I'd realize that, man, there's less and less and less furniture, and then in the living room, there's no more furniture. And As a child then, I didn't realize what was happening, but I saw that, man, there's no more things here. And where's the kid? Where's the wife? I would ask, where's the kid? Because I want to see the kid. I used to play with the kid. The kid was like a toddler, but you play with toddlers. So I would ask, where's the toddler? And like, yeah, they're visiting. That's the answer I would get. They are visiting somewhere. Hindsight, when I think about it now, the man completely ran out of money and he stopped looking for a job and he plunged himself into alcohol. And with the wife leaving him, instead of him getting back on his feet and looking for a job and fixing his life, and probably they could have fixed the relationship or his life would have went another direction, he just put himself more and more into the alcohol, and it seems he put himself more and more into debt. And I don't know what happened with that man, but what I do remember is that he was making enough good money. And with that enough good money, he still was able to lose all of it, lose his family because of bad decisions. And this is not a video for people who have jobs. This is a video for people who make money. So whether you have a job or you're an entrepreneur, understand that when you are making money, you need to be able to spend it in a smart way. You need to be able to invest that money. And things that you don't need to be buying them. You also have to try living below your means. Drinking every weekend, going out every weekend, going on holiday trips that you don't have to go to when there's no money coming in is the last thing that you should be thinking about. You know what I mean? So if you are making money now and it's not a lot of money and you know that you're going to be making a lot of money in the near future, understand that the decisions that you make as you go will affect how much more money you can make and how much longer you can still be able to make money. And the type of people that you hang around can also affect your ability to make more money.